Hi folks, RAYDVD here, welcome to the Movie Reviewers 100 channel again. This week we have Sissy Spacek, another iconic actor from the 70s and 80s, and she's been in quite a few iconic films, Badlands, Point Blank, and the film that I remember from Carrie, which EJ reviewed yesterday, really good review, so you should look out for that one. But the film, I was wanting to pick a film that I hadn't actually seen, so I picked DEADFALL, which is a 2012 film. It's got an absolute amazing cast in it. So we have Eric Bana and Olivia Wilde playing siblings who have just held up a casino, and they're in a car at the beginning of the film, and they're trying to get across the Canadian border. The car flips and they barely survive, so a state trooper comes across them, and Bana ends up shooting them. So they're on the run, and that's the beginning of the film. Then it cuts to a boxer guy who is on his way. He's just been released from jail. He's on his way home to a Thanksgiving do to his parents, who are played by Chris Christopherson and Sissy Spacek. No bad parents to have. And he comes across his ex-coach or trainer, who he believes has betrayed him. They get in a big fight, and then he thinks he seriously injures him. And then Eric Bana and Olivia Wilde, they split up, and Bana heads across country. Wilde gets a lift from the boxer guy, and then they they start to hook up. They get a bond and stuff, and they start to fall in love. So we see them, you know, that's one of the side stories. The next, the other story is the Bana character. He's like anybody that comes across him, he's shooting them. And at the end of the film, there's a big confrontation. No, they all meet up at this Thanksgiving do. The local sheriff, who's played by Treat Williams, his daughter had been invited at the beginning of the film, played by Kate Mara from House of Cards fame, Trans-Siberian. Really good actor as well. The big confrontation is at the meal at the end. You know, Bana goes to the meal and kidnap Christopher Robertson and Sissy Spacek, and Olivia Wilde turns up with the boxer guy, and this is the final act of the film. You know, this is a big confrontation and stuff. So it's a pretty straightforward film. You know, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not even a solid 7. No, 7's my mark that says, right, this is a good film, I'll watch it and stuff. 6 is just, it should have been better. You know, that the cast in this film, it should have been better. It should have been better made. It should have had a better script. But like I say, the cast is unbelievable in this. No, Eric Bana gives a good performance. All the actors are flawless in this. I can't complain about any of the actors, you know, but the quality of the actors, they should have been better. Sissy Spacek, I wouldn't recommend it as one of her finest works. No, her and Chris Christopherson, they've done far better films than this, and they're playing the usual. No, it could have been any generic actors that played this part, but it gave it a wee bit of an interest because of the stature of these actors. One good scene is when Bana confronts Sissy Spacek. You know, he turns up at the house, and then there's a good scene there where they have a wee bit of banter, and that made it worthwhile for me. So as a Sissy Spacek film, I would probably give it a miss, but she just doesn't look any older. She looks a wee bit older. You know, obviously she's got the wrinkles a wee bit, but she's still got that sort of pretty face that she's always had, and I believe she's about 63-64 years old, but still a fine quality actor. I wish she'd be in more films and stuff. So that's my review. I'm sure there'll be the rest of the guys will put up better reviews. I'm sure somebody will want to do Badlands and maybe Point Blank, so look out for the ones. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and leave some comments, and check us out on Facebook.